Hello and welcome. You're watching Business Today TV. I'm Sakshi Patra and this is Market Today, a show where we'll help you understand the closing action on these trades, starting from the benchmark index moves to all the stocks that are buzzing the most in trade. We'll get you expert views to find out where exactly are opportunities for making more money in equities emerging for you as an equity investor. Historic day on the stock markets yesterday, and we've been celebrating a historic day amidst Chandrayaan-3's launch. Indian Space Research Organization successfully launched India's third lunar mission, that's Chandrayaan-3 today, and Chandrayaan-3 in fact was launched on a vehicle Mark 3 rocket from Satish Dhawan Space Center in Sriharikota in Andhra Pradesh today. Remember, ISRO has set three key objectives: safe landing, rover exploration and scientific observations on the moon's surface. So clearly a historic day. India is shining bright. Prime Minister Modi earlier tweeted in the day that this day will be etched in golden letters. We've seen ISRO's MOS. In fact, MOS Jitendra Singh has just mentioned, saying thank you all for making India proud. He has spoken about that to ISRO scientists.
LVM-3 के उत्थापन के साथ ही हमारे अंतरिक्ष यान चंद्रयान-3 की चंद्रमा की यात्रा प्रारंभ हो चुकी है.
As the rocket is soaring through the clear skies, every second moving closer to the accomplishment of the...
What wonderful shots right there for all our viewers. ISRO has said Chandrayaan-3 mission is accomplished as the satellite has successfully entered the orbit as well. That's how we wanted to begin the show today, and the markets roaring higher as well. 408 points higher for the Sensex, 65,973. For the Nifty, 129 points higher at 19,543 odd levels. That's 0.6% higher in trade as well. The broader markets also supporting the indices. In fact, we've been seeing a better performance from the broader markets, over 1% gains for both the mid and the small cap 100 indices. We're also seeing the IT index really leading the show as far as the sectoral action is concerned. The Nifty IT is now up over 4.4% at the day's high level at 30,921 currently. Very, very strong move on the IT pack, followed by a whole host of gains that are being seen on the other sectors as well. Realty, for example, is doing well in today's trading action. Metals are shining bright. We're also seeing some move coming in on the FMCG pack as well. The auto is doing slightly better, so the Nifty Realty is improved also in trade. Metals are now up by 1.3%, so at the day's high, that index is really supporting the markets. FMCG now up 0.6, 0.7% odd. Let's look at the banks, if they have improved, because the PSU banks and the financial services were slightly sulking in the first half of trading session. Slight improvement, not too much, but 0.2% uptick for the Nifty Bank right now. Let's also look at the top gainers and the losers as far as the Nifty index is concerned in today's trading action. Of course, a whole lot of movement in the IT stocks. So TCS leading the show with over 5% gains at 3,518. Tech Mahindra, Infosys all up 4%. Very, very strong move coming in on the IT pack. HCL Tech now up 3.7%. Eicher Motors and Wipro, the other gainers of the pack as well. On the downside, you have HDFC Life, Power Grid, Titan, Dr. Reddy's, Ultratech Cement. No clear trend, but definitely some of the other losses are coming in, and the non-contributors to the market movement in today's trade. But let's welcome our guest on the show. Ruchit Jain joins in, research analyst from 5paisa. Welcome, Ruchit, and thank you so much for taking the time out for this discussion. Well, first, we saw this historic Chandrayaan-3 launch, and the markets are also excited. Your own thoughts of how are you looking at the market movement?
Hi, very good, Sakshi. Well, firstly, certainly a proud moment for everyone in our country, for the launch of Chandrayaan-3. And I know what we have seen in the past as well. I think India in this field has done significantly well. And within a very short period of time compared to last time when we saw that launch, I think it's very short period of time we have managed to launch the next phase. So I think many congratulations to the whole team of ISRO. And definitely a proud moment as an Indian for all of us. Now, yes, coming on to the markets, markets are not stopping at all as far as indices are concerned. What we are witnessing in this week, the Nifty has consolidated rather in a very narrow range where 19,300 has acted as a support, and we are quite close to that breakout of 19,500, 550, which was the resistance rate. But what we can see that there have been sector rotations which are going on. banking mid caps rallied significantly. They took some backseat. Banking witnessed some pullback from the higher levels. Then the Reliance Industries provided support to the market. Now, if we see last two trading sessions, metals, IT, these are names which earlier had not moved on. These counters are witnessing buying interest. So some of the other sector are witnessing a positive momentum, due to which the market trend is remaining intact. So I think this move is likely to continue going ahead. And the way we are witnessing today's close, since it's a weekly close today, a close above this 19,500 certainly would be very encouraging. And I think we would head towards 19,700, 19,800 range quite soon, maybe early next week as well.
Right. So Sensex is back at 66,000. The Nifty back above 19,550. Strong moves in the markets coming in. Ruchit believes that the uptrend is going to continue. But Ruchit, I want to ask you, how far is 21,000 on the Nifty now?
Yeah, so I think markets would continue to achieve new milestones going ahead. What we are eyeing right now is 20,150. So ideally, as per technical analysis, whenever any stock or the index trades its all-time high, so it's a reciprocal retracement theory, which gives us the target projections or the next resistance projections. Now, 161.8% retracement of the previous correction that we saw in the Nifty, but the one which bottomed out around 16,800. That level is coming around 20,150. So I think as of now, for short-term perspective, maybe later half of this month or early next month, we would see 20,150 getting achieved. And yes, once that is surpassed, then 21,000 also would not be. It would not take much time. So as the bull market progresses, the time taken for the higher levels usually increases. So I think that is why what we have witnessed, that from a large consolidation phase, we have given a breakout.
Sure.
It took about to from 16,800 to almost 19, above 19,500 now. So I think the move from here on would be more faster, because of the participation from some of the other sector that would keep momentum in the index intact. But for now, right, 20,150 is what in the short term.
Okay. So Ruchit, now tell us, how do investors make money at record high markets? What's the strategy that they should adopt right now?
So one should adopt a stock-specific strategy over here. See all the markets. If you see the broader markets, most of the sectors have participated in this up move. So I think auto is one name where we have continuously witnessed a good momentum of late. So I think this trend is likely to continue going ahead. Escorts, Ashok Leyland, then Tata Motors. These are some of the names which would continue this outperformance. In the two-wheeler space, Hero MotoCorp, I think one stock which has recently given a good breakout from its consolidation phase. So auto would be one sector where I think participation should happen. IT has given a fresh breakout over here after the TCS and HCL Tech results. So I think up move from the IT names would continue going ahead. So within the IT space, I think stocks such as Infosys, TCS, if we get any dip again, so one can look for buying such names. And apart from this, I think I have already spoken about auto. So auto and IT, I think these are the two space. And yes, metals is one sector that I would bet on, because dollar index has corrected and has now sneaked below 100. So dollar index and metals usually have inverse correlation. When the dollar index goes down, metal stocks go up. So I think the fall in the dollar index would provide some positivity to the metal space. That steel stocks have already seen a good up move. And I think now the aluminum related stocks such as Hindalco, National Aluminum, they are showing a breakout on the charts. So I think metals could also do well and show a good catch-up move in the short to medium term.
Okay, autos, ITs and metals, clear picks right there in terms of sectors, but glad you talked about IT. What a sharp move we've seen in the last two trading sessions today, especially over a 4.4% move. And this is despite muted set of earnings from the IT space. How are you looking at the kind of move that we are seeing? What is this on the back of, and what does it really suggest? Should investors double down their investments in IT now?
So yes, we have seen a long underperformance in the IT names. Post that entire corrective phase that we witnessed along with the Nasdaq index, till the month of October 2022. Then we witnessed a phase where our IT stocks initially witnessed some pullback move, but they went into some long consolidation phase. So price-wise corrective phase is done, and even time-wise corrective phase is done. So when the markets are trending higher, investors would look for more and more opportunities in sectors or the stocks which have not shown an up move yet. And I don't think that any long-term investors holding the IT names in their portfolio would look to sell out the IT names so soon now, because they have just started moving now. So ideally, if you look at the demand-supply scenario, the supply would be less And because these stock sectors or the stocks have not shown any significant up move compared to the markets in last 3 months, the demand would increase. I think that would keep the momentum index. So if you hold any of these names, which are showing started a good performance in last 2-3 trading sessions from the IT names, continue to ride this trend, and in fact some stock specific averaging or further buying could also be done.
So fresh buying in IT space, where would you recommend stocks?
So within the IT space, I think TCS and Infosys would be the preferred pick. So many of the mid cap names have already seen an up move since last 1 or 2 months, but large cap IT stocks is where the underperformance had been, and what we are witnessing now that the underperformer stocks are showing a catch up move. So from the large cap space, Infosys and TCS, I think these two would be the preferred picks. Whereas if you go to the mid cap names, then I think Coforge would be one stock where a decent outperformance could be expected. So within the entire basket, a good outperformance, the relative outperformance during the times when the IT stocks were not moving was shown in Coforge. So I think Coforge would continue that up move. So Infosys, TCS, Coforge, these are three names which I think should continue to deliver good returns. Of course, I'm not saying the other IT names won't, but these would be the preferred picks amongst the top two.
Got that. Well, many thanks, Rajit, for being with us on the show. Spectacular move on the markets right now, and the key to make more money in stock markets is to stay invested and stay invested with the right strategy, which we continue to discuss on Business Today TV with all our experts. And even Rajit mentions 3 pockets that you should focus on: autos, ITs and metals. Select stocks that he's given. Keep an eye out on those. Speak to your financial advisor. Invest either directly with the help of your financial advisor or get in through the mutual funds route. This is the market to stay invested in. 0.8% of a move on the Nifty right now, 19,568 currently. Sensex also higher by 520 odd points at 66,075 at the moment. Let's look at the last 15 minutes as to how do they shape up in the markets. We'll continue to track the market movement for you, and you can do the same by being with us on Business Today TV. So don't forget to subscribe to this channel and also continue to engage with us on our other social media platforms as well. Until then, many thanks for tuning in.
Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi begins his 2-day visit to France. The French rolled out the red carpet for Prime Minister Modi at the Paris Orly airport. He was received by French Prime Minister Elisabeth Borne. Prime Minister Modi received a guard of honor at the airport as part of the grand welcome. Later, the Prime Minister met members of the Indian community in France. Bharat Mata Ki Jai! People chanted Bharat Mata Ki Jai on Prime Minister's arrival.